And Rich Trapper tapping in, TNN Trap News Network. You feel me?
Rich Trapper.
The homie wanted you to whitelist this shit too.
Who?
Rich Trapper.
Rich Trapper?
He be reacting to your shit.
What's the deal? Rich Trapper tapping in. I can't set the alarm off again, man. Y'all seen the last video of that. Set that alarm off, man. I gotta be careful with these good hands we got going on, man. These 5-alarm fades we giving away. Don't worry about it though, because it's words over whoopties. Words over whoopties. Either way it go, though, make sure you drop a comment because Rich Trapper tapping in. Wait. Rich Trapper tapping in. We back in action with another reaction video. Back in action with another reaction video. Make sure you drop a comment because the best comment of the month of April, we're receiving $50 cash up to the top commenter between now and 8,000 subscribers. But April the 14th, it's a live music review. Make sure you slide into my DMs on Instagram because we will be giving away $100 that day, plus another $50 that day. The top commenter between now and 8,000 subscribers will get their 100, as well as the best song in the live music review will also get their $50 that day as well, man. Drop a comment because we giving all that away. Don't worry about it, though. Find me on Instagram, Trap News Network, TRAPNEWSNETWORX, Trap News Network. Get into all that, man. Find me on all streaming platforms. Rich Trapper Game 6, Rich Trapper Worth More Than Money, Rich Trapper I'm Better Off Without You, Start From Scratch, and A Nightmare Before Christmas is both out now, as well as my newest project, I'm Still Better Off Without Who? Without You. Get into that if you ain't got into that. Mention Me, newest single. G Preco and Rucci, they in the video, as well as King Harris. Shout out to Arden for showing some love. I told y'all how y'all can win some money, but I'm gonna say it again, man. Drop a comment because the best comment in the month of April will receive $50 cash up, as well as the top commenter between now and 8,000 subscribers. When we get to 8,000 subscribers on April the 14th, be on a live music review, man. I'm gonna make sure I give away that $100. Get into that if you ain't got into that. Loose Leaves, Honey Burby by Desto Dub. Shout out to Loose Leaves, a perfectly cut leaf for a perfect roll every single time. Shout out to Desto Dub. It's an awful lot of Loose Leaves. It's an awful lot of Rich Trapper going on. Get into that if you ain't got into that. Got my loose leaf already rolled up, man. I rolled it up in my last video. Gonna make sure I enjoy this with y'all, man. Let me go ahead and tuck that boy real quick. Yes, sir. Yeah. Get that in there. So we got Adam 22 breaking down this heated debate between him and Almighty Suspect. If you want to see Adam 22 call DW Flame a bad B, very disrespectful, go back and watch the last video. If you're going to jump into this content about no further ado, don'ts, 3, 2, 1, let's go.
The one thing that is a problem is that I didn't really drink that much. It's just that this fairy gave me something else that augmented the drinking. So like I woke up feeling great.
Yeah.
Like no
Nothing
hangover.
happened. Yeah, it's smooth afterwards.
But then I did, like, you know, as the day goes on, I end up getting in this huge argument with Suspect, and I kind of like wonder to what extent us both having been fucked up a few hours prior.
Fucking Bender, bro.
Bro, they didn't have, there was no one mic.
We were comparator.
There was no one mic. They was arguing.
That was wild. What was your perspective on it as the person who was basically just like sitting in the middle of it?
From the beginning, y'all both was talking about two different things. And y'all both was too ignorant to even get what each other was like. Okay, well, you got what he said. If you look back, Suspect just saying you can't tell me about my culture, and you like, nigga, you saying because I'm white I can't tell you about rap music. That's exactly what you guys are saying.
And Suspect loves music, so you can't.
That's really a difference. Y'all just having a difference.
Whenever you hang out with Suspect and he like immediately starts showing you, or not even showing you, but just playing like 100 different rappers he knows, and they're all from different cities, and they're a lot of them have like 2,000 plays, but the shit is lit. He is definitely a musical.
That's
musically obsessed person.
When I watch it, I just know his love for music because I kick it with him a lot now. So it's like, that's where I took it. But
y'all feel like y'all was arguing for too long, though.
Definitely went too long. It was probably like a fucking hour of arguing. But that is the thing, too, is that me and Suspect have not hung out that much outside of being here for the most part. And we're not even really on the podcast that much.
Yeah.
But so we spent that whole night hanging out and then go to sleep, wake up the next day, we're on the podcast together. So it's like, this is us spending like a lot more time than we normally spend together.
No Diddy.
And that argument, pause. Luckily it wasn't a Diddy party.
No rat run 100 drinking the hot dog water.
Argument like had a few different phases from my perspective, where at first we're arguing about J. Cole, Kendrick, Drake type shit. And then he basically gets frustrated with me not agreeing with him and me making it too much about like the sales or the size of the artist versus the skill, which, to be fair, I would probably have to rewatch that argument in order to like really like see what I think of it right now, because I don't actually feel that strongly about that. That was just more of like a content type argument where I like,
yeah,
you know,
I
like you
figured that.
take a
I
stand,
know that, yeah.
and then you are like, well, I can't
I'm not
abandon
turning
this.
down
I gotta
now.
keep going.
I gotta
with
keep
this.
going. You can't. And I tell everybody, do not ever submit on camera. It's like an unwritten rule. I shouldn't have said it, but you can't submit on camera.
But the question is y'all still thinking something in the back of your head? That's the question.
But okay, let's go in order.
It was kind of getting like. Really
But let's go in order.
offended,
That is the beginning. It was like us talking about the Kendrick and Cole situation, right? Which I don't like still to this day, don't really feel that fucking strongly about, but we're having this argument and it's like good content, whatever, we're going at it. And then his frustration with me not agreeing with him basically leads to him, from my perspective, this is the order of operations, leads to him going to a personal attack, which is basically to say that his opinion takes
Almighty Suspect's opinion takes precedent and validity over yours because he is a child of hip hop. Excuse me, a child of hip hop, big dog. DW Flame is from Long Beach. DW Flame would know more about Long Beach than me. DW Flame would know more about the Insane Crip gang than I ever will. You feel me? Do I got one of my closest homies that's from Baby Insane? Yes. I love him to death, man. That's my bro. A1 since day one, man. Shout out to bro. He know who he is, man. Shout out to you, everybody who know me. Y'all know who he is. That don't mean I know more about the Insanes than him because my best friend from Babies. That don't mean that. That don't mean that at all. That don't mean that. That don't mean that. Words is hard. That don't mean that. I said that. What I said. I said that. Poetic Flacco is what I said. Oh man. But I don't like Adam 22. Yes, you've made a lot of money off hip hop media because for whatever reason, black people feel like the white man's ice is always colder and the white man's water is always wetter. So many other black platforms people could have ran to. So many people black owned platforms they could have ran to. They build and they growing. Shout out to them. You know what I'm saying? But Adam 22, all you have made is what all people make, all black culture. Money with no contributions, big dog. You've made some money and you've made no contributions, just like a pilgrim. We salute you, pilgrim.
priority and that I am not capable of having a valid opinion on this topic.
Not saying you can't have an opinion, but suspect opinion weighs more.
Because of the fact that I'm white, I'm from New Hampshire.
Nobody ever said you were white. Nobody ever said you were from New Hampshire. You said that. You putting out your own insecurities on Suspect. Suspect never said that.
I didn't start making money from hip hop until I was 32. Yeah, which at one point he starts denying that he said it was about me being white when he quite clearly did include that in this conversation, whatever. But either way, that becomes the conversation of, you know, who's allowed to have a valid perspective in hip hop. Then at some point it crosses over the line into, like, from my perspective, it's like he kind of did like a personal attack, trying to take my opinion away from me. And then I gave him a little bitty taste of a personal attack by saying basically, like, how am I not allowed to have an opinion when look at everything that I've accomplished in this space? Which to me, like, if we are going to start talking about personal attacks and cutting people's opinions down, if you're going to say that I can't have an opinion because of my whiteness or because I'm not from here or whatever, and that your opinion matters more because you are really around battle rap and ciphers and judging shit and all this type of stuff.
I was about to say,
I
did he
fuck with
say you can't have an opinion though?
But he was basically saying that my opinion doesn't really matter because I'm white, but his opinion does matter. I shouldn't say because I'm white, because it's not exactly what he said. He said because of the fact that I'm from New Hampshire and I blah, blah, blah. I didn't grow up 100% around this culture or whatever.
You don't have to cut to it.
Suspect never said because you are from New Hampshire. I done watched that interview like 5 times. At no point did he ever say it's because you're from New Hampshire. He never said that, bro. You said that. You're now putting your words in his mouth. No Diddy, no Rat 22, Whack 100. That's Adam 22. No Adam 20, but you do be kind of acting a little ratty, big dog. I ain't gonna lie. But no Whack Snitch Honey, hot dog water. Don't drink the hot dog water. 3-finger whack. Don't worry about it though, because his uncle already worried about it enough for everybody. Wow, that just happened. Shh, don't tell nobody. Either way, go. Let's keep going.
You got the brothers, so we know it's not no.
But then that kind of transitions into an argument that is totally separate about who could potentially be a bigger expert about a thing? Because, and this is my error, is that a lot of times will have an argument about one thing and then I'll make some other random controversial statement and then the argument becomes about that thing, even though that thing is like pretty removed. My statement was that it is not the case that a person from a culture is always going to be more educated about a topic than somebody who goes out of their way to become an expert on the topic, which quickly got reduced to him basically arguing against the idea that everyone who is studying a piece of content from the outside is going to know more than everyone who is actually a part of that. When in reality, the statement I was making is that if there's a guy and he writes a whole book about the last 20 years of the NBA, he's probably going to know more about the NBA than some random.
He's not going to know more about the NBA than somebody who's actually in the NBA, big dog. Lived experience is always better than a third-party story. I could tell you what it's like to be Rich Trapper, and you can write all the books in the world about being a rich trapper, but if you yourself have never been a rich trapper, then you yourself know nothing about rich trapping. Shout out to the Rich Trapper Mafia, to the Rich Trapper Political Party. And we also want to take a second to shout out Loose Leafs, man. Shout out to Loose Leaf. Honey Bourbon. Shout out to Desto Dub, man. An awful lot of Loose Leafs, an awful lot of Honey Bourbons. It's an awful lot of cough syrup, man. This is a loose leaf product, perfectly cut leaves for a perfect roll every single time. Shout out to Desto Dub. Shout out to awful lot of Loose Leaves. Whole lot of cough syrup going on, but it's even more whole lot of rich trapping going on, man. So we finna go ahead and jump back into this content. My video stopped, but it's all good. We finna get back into it. Let's go.
Guy who was a fucking point guard for the Spurs for 2-3 years, right? But this is the actual argument that I was making.
DW Flame doesn't agree with you. Nobody agrees with you.
Take it away from me and make it about something else.
You made it make more sense.
But that's exactly what I was saying the whole time, and everybody misinterpreted it.
You made it make more sense. Because listen, if I come from the NBA and then I start writing on it too, I think I can surpass you and have more knowledge than you because I actually did it.
It's possible.
And I'm on this side.
That's possible. But like my example that I think I was actually giving in the moment is that somebody like Alex Alonso, who is apparently a gang expert, at least
and
according to the courts,
player, majoring in communication,
everything like that. Okay, if he's a gang expert, or like take someone who wrote books about gangs that he could.
Shout out to Alex Alonso. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, Street TV. Shout out to Alex Alonso, man. Drop a comment. Make sure y'all flood the videos, especially the ones with Spider Loke and Munchie B. Not the ones together and the ones individually, because Mariah is super fine. Shout out to Mariah too. Whew. Salute that black queen for sure. So make sure y'all extra like the videos with Mariah. You know what? Munchie B, Spider Loke, y'all cool, man. We got lots of love for y'all, but go like Mariah. They not gonna take it no kind of way. They understand. They understand. They would actually much rather y'all go like Mariah than like them anyway, because 99% of my followers are men anyway. So maybe y'all should just go like Mariah. You feel me? But like, comment, subscribe to Street TV. You know, I'm off the loose leaf, man. I can't remember the name of the shows, but Alex Alonso got the interviews. Munchie B and Spider Loke got their show together, as well as Munchie B and Mariah has her show together, and then Spider Loke got the Black Box. Show love to all of them. Show love to all of them, man. Shout out to Alex Alonso for providing the platforms. The Black Box is not actually under that platform. That's his own platform. But y'all get what I'm saying. Show love. I'm just trying to tell y'all to show some love, big dog. We all from LA for the most part watching this, you know what I'm saying, from California. And it's a lot of hate because, oh, he from here, he from there. He ain't really like that. I knew him in the second grade, and he cried because little Jacob smacked over his Fruit Loops. And da-da-da. All that's whack. All that's whack. Go show love. Go show love. And drop Rich Trapper Mafia in all their comments so they know we in there.
Actually have more knowledge about something than someone who was actually brought up and raised in it, because there is very little incentive for a person who was just raised in it. And I'll even go beyond that. When it comes to rap, I personally feel like I know more about rap than 99% of people who are into rap, because of the fact that because of my job, I just have a reason to know about all these different scenes all over the country and the world. And it's like, I just don't know many people who know all about underground rappers from Texas, Florida, New York, Chicago, Louisiana, wherever. Fuck.
Milwaukee.
Now, to be fair,
certified
Suspect
trapper. He's coming back.
Suspect is like that too. He's the type of person who's like a serious fucking rap nerd and is actually from rap. But the only thing that I was saying was that just because you're from a culture doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to know more than somebody who goes out of their way to become an expert in.
That is the whitest thing you can say. You're a pilgrim. You're a plundering pilgrim, bro. Like, what are you talking about, Adam? What are you talking about, bro? What are you talking about? What the hell are you talking about, bro? What the hell are you talking about, white boy? You are tripping. How are you going to tell somebody that's from a culture that you know more about the culture than their culture because you read a book or heard a third party? You're tripping, bro. You're tripping. You're tripping. You're tripping. You're tripping.
Culture, which nobody seemed interested in talking about the actual thing that I was saying, which
You were saying numbers.
That culture, which nobody seemed interested in talking about the actual thing that I was saying, which
You were saying numbers.
Who was the
I
best?
don't.
numbers and what?
Remember you were saying who had more numbers, right?
The numbers.
And he was arguing who was the best rapper, lyricist.
And
Numbers don't count.
but that's
Numbers
going
do
back
count
in
too.
time. You're talking about the original source of the argument, which was the Kendrick Cole Drake thing, which I don't really feel that strong about it. I did see some people posting up first week numbers and saying, look at how Kendrick has better first week numbers than J. Cole. From my perspective, I feel like J. Cole's music is more popular than Kendrick's music, but again, the numbers would dictate that better, and I don't want to be just like making statements like that about shit that I'm not actually like educated in. But so then once it turned into a little bit more of a personal attack, I feel that strong about it. I did see some people posting up first week numbers and saying, look at how Kendrick has better first week numbers than J. Cole. From my perspective, I feel like J. Cole's music is more popular than Kendrick's music, but again, the numbers would dictate that better, and I don't want to be just like making statements like that about.
Be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Damn. But see what I did there? Don't worry about it. Don't worry. If you see what I did there, go ahead and just comment. I see what you did there. But you really got to see what I did there. Don't comment. I see what you did there. If you ain't see what I did there, don't lie to me. Don't lie to me. Sir Richard, don't you lie to me. No, I'm just playing. I don't care. I don't care. But don't lie to me though. Don't.
that I'm not actually.
Because I really want to know who got the joke, man. Because I'm trying to just see like where my fan. Never mind. Don't worry about it.
Like educated.
Shit that I'm not actually.
But so then, once it turned into a little bit more of a personal attack, which from my
Like
perspective,
educated it.
I didn't feel like I was
But
really
so
doing too
then,
much. I felt
once
like
it turned
I was
into a
just-
little bit more of a personal attack, which from my perspective, I didn't feel like I was really doing too much. I felt like I was just.
turned him into a whoopty.
I felt like he hit me with a personal.
Almighty suspect verbally smacked the shit out of you.
attack, so I gave him a little tiny taste of what a personal attack from me would be like. Not a personal attack, but like
So I gave him a little tiny taste of what a personal attack from me would be like. Not a personal attack, but like an evaluation of who gets to have an opinion about some shit. I did a tiny microscopic bit of flexing in the sense of saying like, if my opinion is so relevant, then why did I create what is arguably the biggest fucking West Coast media company?
Yeah.
Which all that shit just immediately got interpreted as Adam is flexing, Adam is bragging about his comments, whatever. But you guys know, I never do that. I never like we're never gonna have a fucking argument on here where I'm gonna turn it into look at me, I'm successful, so therefore my fucking opinion matters more.
I mean, Cub feel like that's what you did.
And I did, but I did it in response to him basically invalidating my entire
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that was your comeback.
And-
like you
But
like
it's
hold
the
on.
umbrella of a whole.
I'm going back to back off somebody who spent their whole life playing basketball. You made it to the league and whoopty bam and blah blah blah, and you know you made your chili and all that. And then I get into a media space, and then I use clothes and music and all these other surrounding things like are kind of attached to basketball, but not like just basketball. How you just play basketball. I have all these other things like surrounding basketball because I'm not a basketball player, and I make more chili than you. At that point, when you're giving me facts and statistics that I actually can't match with my own facts and statistics, and I say, well, I made more money than you off the sport of basketball, at that point, I lost the argument because I have nothing really of value to say, and all I can talk about is my monetary achievements, which is never a bad thing because we're going to do one thing here at TNN Trap News Network and salute the winner and the loser. Shout out to Adam22 for chasing that chili and conquering the chili in the sport of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, bro. He got the chili. Y'all made that man rich. I'm talking about him right now. I'm probably making him rich. It is what it is. You feel me? I take accountability. Like I'm going to take this loose leaf to the face. Take accountability. You know what I'm saying? Not like how Rat Run Honey takes things to the face. So not like that. No Rat Run Honey hot dog water. All I'm simply saying is it doesn't make you more of an expert. It makes you financially more stable, for sure. For sure. And over here at TNN Trap News Network, dude, you can't get to college, man. Don't argue with me. Argue with your bank account. You feel me? So with that being said, I ain't mad at that. But Almighty Suspect still has more validity and has a better point that he made and a better foundation to stand on when it comes to these kind of conversations because he is from this thing called hip hop, literally.
A lot of rappers and stuff to keep you intrigued in what's going on.
That's some bullshit.
So all together,
That's some bullshit.
a lot of rappers and stuff to keep you intrigued in what's going on.
That's some
Also,
bullshit.
So all together,
That's some bullshit
he
y'all
can't
both
say
was doing.
you built this platform all off of hip hop. He can't say that your opinion doesn't matter. But when he's talking about best lyricists and you, Adam, you really can't write a rap to save your life. So like,
I know what you're
the shit that you're listening. Don't cut you all the way out. You just never tried.
I'm just saying,
Like, you might come crazy if you start.
I'm just saying, like, it's not something I ever even tried, which is different than me and Lush.
Can I get a feature?
No, Lush.
Come on. Oh, fuck you.
Lush is someone who's been giving it a solid attempt at rapping all these years, and
That's
people know
crazy.
exactly what he raps like. And
Not a solid
you can say that to him. Like, Lush is a very talented lyricist and writer and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. I'll give it to him. But he shot his shot. He worked at it. I wish I had spent 20 years working at it. I just never got into it.
That's crazy.
I got two things. So it's like, okay,
My bad. That's me.
he's a rapper, so and he feels like he can rap, and he feels like the fact that he knows how much he's a rapper, so and he feels like he can rap, and he feels like the fact that he knows how much energy and talent it takes to be as hard as them because he does the same thing every day. That's probably where he feels like
That's the
his
basketball
opinion
thing.
matters. Yeah, you get
It's
what
like
I'm
he
saying?
played it.
That's the basketball.
So I'm saying there is a possible way that he can know more, but you being an outside person who studied or a person
Don't
who
mean
just
it don't
studied,
matter.
yeah, you can know more. You
Yes.
feel me? I can just know about over here. I know how this game bang can go on the West Coast. Period.
Right.
You might can tell me how it go. Some shit that they hold up on the East Coast.
Right, because if me and you go to New York together tomorrow, guess what? I probably know more about the gangbanging shit out there, and you're probably going to be like, so wait, they're from what or whatever? Or what rapper is from that? What you do know
Not
about
in New
that?
York. In New York, I'm locked in.
Fair enough. Right. If that wasn't the case, I would totally understand because average person from LA, what the fuck do they give a fuck about knowing about New York? To them, it's like,
probably
oh, they
could
got
do that
Bloods and
with
Crips.
me.
That's crazy.
Like,
Whatever.
I know certain people in New York. You probably could do that with me.
Yeah.
Like,
You gonna look back like D-Dub, hold up. All the Crips gonna be out in New York. I be having them
no,
all
for
out.
sure they gonna come
I have
out for
them
me.
all out in New York.
Listen. So the second
Let's
thing,
shoot.
Bro, you are a sicko, bro. You are in sicko mode.
I don't invite any ops.
The
'cause I don't
second
know who I'm dealing with.
Ain't no ops. I ain't got no. We ain't got no ops. Yo, shout out all the Crips.
Hey, if anything,
I don't invite any ops.
The
'cause I don't know who I'm dealing with.
Ain't no ops. I ain't got no. We ain't got no.
We are
Yo, shout out all the Crips.
Hey, if anything
Shout out
happens,
all the
I'm gonna have my
Bloods in New York.
security. I'm gonna jump on his back, and he's gonna run away, and I'm gonna be on his back.
be tapping his ass.
I believe.
Hey, listen.
Nah,
so
I'm
the
I might
second-
make him stick me in his kangaroo pouch.
I'm gonna grab you, cuz.
No.
Adam, cuz we over here. What you doing?
Look, the second thing that I was saying was I feel like the big three came together. They've been seeing little rap beef things going viral. I feel like the big three came together to get Kendrick and a couple people off the bench, and they come back this way because Cole, we haven't heard nothing from Cole in a long time. We haven't heard nothing from Kendrick.
I have thoughts on that. Let's just close out this suspect thing real quick, and then we can get into that conversation because obviously J. Cole apologizing and shit is this crazy new
I didn't even
development.
see that shit.
But oh, for real?
I've been traveling.
But
You know, I'm on a bender fool.
you aren't a bender fool. Sit on my lap, fool. But so just to end that,
He was getting more and more confident with Sex playing these grown men. Wild.
What just
The
happened?
fuck, bro?
Y'all got shit.
it's from the D-Lo episode. Pause.
I know.
What just
What the
happened?
fuck, bro?
Y'all got shit.
Yeah.
it's from the D-Lo
I
episode.
know
Pause.
it is. I know. Tell the people. Pause. Bro.
You were on the other side of the table,
That's gay.
I know.
so you would have to sit on my lap.
But so,
Nah.
Okay, my bad.
Adam. Please.
where was I?
Yeah, that's gay.
Yeah.
Okay, but so
Even the gay guy
Oh,
thought
yeah,
that.
yeah. Just to wrap up that, like, I don't really give a fuck.
where was
about
it?
The Kendrick
The
versus
fucking.
J. Cole
DW.
conversation.
I mean, not DW. Sess.
Oh yeah. Just to wrap up that, like, I don't really give a fuck about the Kendrick versus J. Cole conversation. That to me was just an argument.
Apologize. That's where you were at. Apology.
Which is like,
No,
I just
that's
feel
what I was
like
saying we were going to talk about
if we're
next.
gonna have
So we're finishing off the
conversations
Almighty Adam
on camera,
thing, which is like, I just feel like if we're going to have conversations on camera, that it doesn't really like do us any favors to turn arguments that don't have to be personal attacks into personal attacks. And like a version of it that I thought of would be like, let's say we start talking about some smartsy ass shit on here, and I start saying, well, like, Rick, baby, you go to college? Wait, you do go to college, right? Yeah. Never mind. Do you go to college?
No.
So therefore, your opinion doesn't matter because I didn't. I went to college for 2 years. But I'm saying, like, imagine how weird that would be if I were to do that. Like, if we were to start talking about something and I were to be like, well, DW, I went to college and you didn't, so you need to listen to me. Now that's like a far example because of the hip hop thing. It's a little bit more.
Sometimes
it's a little bit more applicable.
Nobody can never.
But that would be like real.
I would say in the hood. Go ahead.
That would be really weird if I were to go that way in an argument, even if it totally made sense.
It's over. It's over. For the last 2 minutes, whatever you were saying, I ain't even gonna lie, big dog. I ain't even catch it. I'm over here scrolling on my other phone trying to find the next video I'm finna give y'all because he's not, talking about nothing. Shout out to X-Fo. He got released today. Shout out to X-Fo. He got released today. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? I'm probably not gonna make a video about that, but shout out to X-Fo though. He got released today. Adam 22 is talking about nothing, big dog. The same way he was talking about nothing with him and Almighty. Words are hard. Loose leaves. Got me Flacco in my words right now. I'm Flacco. I'm Flacco in my whole word right now. But either way it go, Adam 22, you ain't making a point the same way you weren't making a point that day that you and Suspect got into a big dog. You just talking.
You know, it's like, I just think the percentage of the time that you should go back to like, these are my accolades.
You know, it's like, I just think the percentage of the time that you should go back to like, these are my accolades and this is why I'm allowed to have an opinion on this topic and you aren't. It's just like, I hate to go back to bad podcasting, but to me, that just doesn't really add anything to the conversation. You should be able to have the conversation without making it into a personal attack. And to me personally, he crossed that line and then I kind of like upped the ante a little bit, which I feel like he's still not stoked on, at least from like the body language that I got from seeing him yesterday and shit. Is that it doesn't feel like
that's what I was asking.
I wouldn't say that he's.
What did you say to ruffle the feathers?
When the argument kept going, and then I basically like in response to him diminish.
Much of a blunt, and I need to smoke more. Y'all let me know I need to smoke more. But I think this is good to put out. You feel me? And then I could just go roll me another one, and that's just my roach. You feel me? Y'all think I'm playing? I got a whole nother roach right here. And if you think that they are the same roach, it's not the same roach because this is the one that I just put out that is still, as you can see, smoking. You feel me? Still smoking. That's the one I just put out. This one already had. So my roaches do be like this big. You feel me? I don't really be trying to burn my fingertips and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's that. And then a lot of women in my comments be telling me I got nice nails. I be trying to make sure I stay manicured, you know what I'm saying? Speaking of, I need to go hit my woo-wop this weekend, get the haircut, go see the Asian lady, let her rub my feet, rub my hands and all that kind of stuff. Hell yeah. Either way it goes, we finna let this video keep going. I'm not being racist, bro. My manicurist, she's my manicurist, my pedicurist, she's Asian, bro. It is what it is. Like, I ain't being racist, I ain't being stereotypical. That woman is Asian. You mad at me because she's Asian? Don't be mad at me. Go be mad at her parents.
My hip-hop credentials, I started listing my hip-hop credentials, which I didn't really go too far with. I just said
too much, but
my hip-hop credentials, I started listing my hip-hop credentials, which I didn't really go too far with. I just said
too much, but
I created the biggest hip-hop media platform on the West Coast. So if I am an outsider, apparently I'm a pretty talented outsider. For me personally, I don't really like I understand why we fetishize and appreciate the lived experience of a person from Los Angeles in terms of their involvement in hip hop. For me personally, I feel like I also had a pretty good hip hop upbringing in my bedroom, ordering fucking CDs out of the back of the magazine for 10 CDs for 1 penny. If anybody has that memory, you know, I can't control where I was born or like what access to hip hop I had because it just wasn't a hip hop scene around me in order for me to interact with. But all I'm saying is that I don't think like you know, sometimes you'll get an argument. All right, you get an argument on a podcast with Flacco and he starts saying some shit about girls that you consider like really overwhooping. Like he seems like he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. And we know for a fact that Flacco realistically has not probably had anywhere near the experience that we have with girls. That's an example where that does seem like highly relevant to bring up if we were having a conversation of like girls are like this and girls are like that. Like you really, Flacco's perspective on that might really be like 10% as valuable.
We really won't listen to
as the perspective of a guy who's really fucked hundreds and hundreds of girls and like knows what the fuck girls
with women than the guys who actually experience it. You, Adam 22, being a porn star, at that point, it's Flacco more educated on women than you are, than sex than you are, because that's actually what you're saying in reference to Almighty Suspect, and we all know that that's not the truth in either one of those occasions.
So like and shit. To me, it's like, yes, Suspect has a life full of hip hop experience.
are like and shit. To me, it's like, yes, Suspect has a life full of hip hop experience. But I don't think that when we're talking about J. Cole versus Kendrick, that we need to make it something where we're like disqualifying the other person because of their lived experience. Because if that was what we were going to do, that would be every fucking argument on here.
We got to do a trivia, cuz, with both of y'all, cuz. We got to do it. What's it called? Yeah, we got to do something with trivia type thing where they both got to answer the question.
That's not the worst idea I ever heard, but I really want to I want the people to be making the conversation. Like, I'm trying to think of who should be making the questions.
Yeah.
Because I think that's a good way for us to make this into like a fun thing versus like an animosity thing, which
Dejan Paul.
it feels like there's still a little bit of
Dejan Paul, DJ Charisma, DJ Head.
they're all on his side. I need people on my side. I want Josh to write some questions.
Well, two people on the panel. You have two people. Yeah, nah, he knows you like the back of his head. Well, two people on the panel. You have two people. Yeah, nah, he knows you like the back of his head.
We gotta find somebody.
We gotta find somebody.
Josh's question would be like easy space.
You got
What vowel?
You know what?
The game is.
No, I want Bob the Giuna writing my questions as well.
Yeah. Bob the G.
Who know hip hop better? That's gonna be the game.
For sure, he'd probably, especially depending on what era, what location. Like if we go,
the argument.
if you go 90s shit or 2000 shit from LA, I'm getting crushed because I didn't grow up on that shit.
No, trivia just on Drake, J. Cole, and Kendrick. What the argument started on. If y'all really know these artists and y'all really think like,
That's interesting. I feel like he knows a lot more about them
They
than
gonna
me.
look it up on the internet.
you get what I'm saying? That was the argument.
We can't tell you.
Who's better, and he's trying to tell you who's better because he feels like he knows more about them than you. You just said it.
The more I think about this, the more difficult I think it would be for us to get on the same page in terms of exactly what these questions would be.
Yeah,
I think it'd be fun, though.
Yeah, for sure.
It would be fun.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun.
Because it's too broad of a.
It's just so many different directions you could go with it.
Yeah.
We gotta have y'all with a button too.
Oh yeah, we gotta have buttons, but they have to be like high.
And who is To Pimp a Butterfly? And who is Cold World? And who is Take It? What is it's the loose leaf. Don't worry about me. Loose leaves are actually a really good product. Y'all should probably go get some of these. Gasto Dub, Honey Bourbon. Awful lot of loose leaves. Awful lot of Rich Rapper going in, man. Make sure y'all get into these, man. Loose leaf, perfectly cut leaves for a perfect roll every time. Awful lot of Rich Rapper going on.
The accurate buttons that'll actually tell us who hits it first.
And then you guys both have to have tough skin and get over it because
The accurate buttons that'll actually tell us who hits it first.
And then you guys both have to have tough skin and get over it because speaking of buttons, Joe Budden's podcast, they do it all the time. Then they get personal a little bit. Then they get over it. They get.
But sometimes it doesn't feel like they necessarily get over it. Sometimes there's like long-standing, simmering
like 2-3
weirdness,
weeks.
which I wouldn't pick up on a lot of it. But I watch Danny from the Stop all the time, and Danny from the Stop's YouTube channel breaks down a shitload of the narratives that basically like define what's going on in their podcast, and it could be.
Good content we got going on here at TNN Trap News Network. News you use, some knowledge you can't get in college. Big dog, hit the subscribe button, become part of the Rich Rapper Mafia. Hit that notification bell at the top. Hit all say tapped in for the latest and the greatest. What we have going on here at TNN Trap News Network. News you use, and knowledge you can't get in college. The reason why I haven't changed in that one smoke detector battery, that one specific one, is because you guys continuously comment on it, and it continues to generate more, in the algorithm. It makes me do my thing. So I appreciate y'all for commenting on it. It's one more thing for y'all to comment about. If y'all stop commenting on it, I'll probably change the battery. But right now it's generating revenue. So shout out to the smoke detector. Either way it go, man. Make sure you tap in for April the 14th live music review. Get into that. If you ain't got into that, we're giving away $50 as well as a $100 giveaway to the top to the top commenter between now and 8,000 subscribers. Hit the red dot. Slide to the left. Figure out how to get some more of that. Find me on Instagram, Trap News Network, TRAPNEWSNETWORX, Trap News Network. And we are out of here to the next one. Free Avenue Angel till he's free. We gone.